Howdy guys, this video is going to explain our non-testing schedule for Tuesday. So, if you are a non-testing teacher on Tuesday, you're going to want to pay attention to this video. Alright guys, so Tuesday, May 9th, we have the 8th grade non-testers, the kids that passed the reading test. So what we're going to be doing is some review rotation stations for science and social studies. We have a guest coming for our Mobile Noble. We have a designer animals adaptations kind of lab. We have social studies games and a social studies review video that's kind of controversial and it's good stuff. Then we've got a few sponge activities in case we just have extra time, filler, stuff like that. So, same teachers as Monday, Horn, Winkler, Hutch, Martin, Duran, all the social studies, Greer, and then all of our science as well. I'm sorry, and Foley as well. Wiz, Laux, Bomer, Osborne, McDaniel, Langford, and Key. So, that's kind of our setup for the day. Alright, so our assignments are as follows. Horn and Hutchins and Greer will be showing the social studies video. Then we have Winkler, Martin, and Duran will be in classrooms for the social studies games. Then we've got designer animals for Miss Wiz, Osborne, and Langford. Then we have Mobile Noble and Recess for Laux, Bomer, and McDaniel. Then I have my administrator responsibilities for Key, Foley, and Mr. Lawson as well. So let's go ahead and look at our locations. So this is where you will be located on Tuesday. Let me scoot that over just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so on Tuesday we have Hutch and Horn in the gym. You guys will be kind of co-teaching the same lesson in one location. Then we'll have Langford, Osborne, and Wiz. Our designer animal stations are over here. We have Duran, Winkler, and Martin. Our game stations are on this side. And then I have Greer as well as another video station. Then Laux, Bomer, and Daniel. You guys, I'm sorry, McDaniel. You guys will be either on the tennis courts or track or doing the Mobile Noble in the cafeteria, but anytime you have to check in with your students, like at the beginning of the day or something, you'll be in the cafeteria. So, there's our locations. Now, teacher schedule, I went ahead and created a teacher schedule for this one just so that you can kind of see when you get a little bit of relief. So, teacher's name and room number is listed along the top. So you want to find your name. Let's say I am Winkler. If I'm Mr. Winkler, then I can see that in the 8 to 9 o'clock hour, I'm going to have group A2, and those student rosters will be provided to you in your mailbox. Then from 9:05 to 10 o'clock, we will have group B2. So your location stays the same. Students will just rotate to you. And then the off period, if you are receiving one, which I believe everyone gets an off period, then you know, that's your time to either do lunch, do conference, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it off period. So I know some of them are a little earlier in the day than others, so you use that time as you see fit to do what you need to do. But again, that's your schedule for the day. And I do have some weirdness on this side. The administrative responsibilities, Lawson, Key, and Foley. The Mobile Noble prep, you guys are going to help me set up the cafeteria with the Mobile Noble people. Then we're going to field day prep while we have a little bit of free time while the first group is in the Mobile Noble. During that time we have our awesome teacher group here, Bomer, Laux, and McDaniel, monitoring the Mobile Noble. Then to relieve them so they get an off period, Lawson, Key, and Foley will cover the cafeteria for Mobile Noble the second round. Then the next batch for administrative responsibilities will be delivering lunches during 11:05 to 12 o'clock. There are 2 different lunches on this day. And I believe history was first. Let me double check. So yes, the lunches will be delivered, the history teachers, to your locations between 11:35 and 12 o'clock. Hopefully on the 11:35 side of that. That way the kids have some time to eat. And make sure they dispose of their trash appropriately. We'll give you a trash bag and all that good stuff. Then the first round of lunches was 11:05 to 11:30. Those will be delivered as well. Same process. We're aiming for the first time, so we're hoping to get those to you closer to the 11 o'clock side of the hour. And then again, just monitor the trash and make sure we get all that taken care of. Other than that, I feel like that's pretty much everything for our schedules. If you have any questions on that, let me know. We're going to go ahead and jump into what the lessons look like that day. Okay, so this is the PowerPoint that you will be receiving via email that is called Tuesday, and this is what you'll be showing to your students. Probably the first rotation, you're going to want to go through the first few slides, and then after that you can just focus on your specific content slide. Alright, so I'm going to go into the presentation mode. I'm going to click, here we go. Right over here, it takes me into presentation mode, and that way students will be able to see the whole screen for what I want to show you. That doesn't work for me, so I'm going to hit escape. But you'll want to be in presentation mode most likely when you're showing it to your students. Alright, so expectations. Today is the last opportunity to review for the Science and Social Studies STAR. Please take advantage of the opportunity. We want this to be an opportunity and not like a cram session. So we know if they get stressed out, it's not going to help them. So make sure they're kind of relaxed about it and not freaking out. We will be moving around downstairs only, so please reiterate to students that we will not be going upstairs at all until after testing. So the areas we will be using is the Inspire hallway, the art classrooms, gym, lecture hall, cafeteria, track, and tennis courts. There is testing going on downstairs, so we must be silent in the hallways. Otherwise, our plans could change very drastically, meaning we may be stuck in a classroom for 4 hours if we cannot, be silent in the hallways. So during those transitions, it is imperative that they are absolutely silent. Agenda. There are 5 stations today. I kind of already mentioned what they were, so I will show you the schedule. We have 4 different groups of students, and within those groups we have 3 student groups. So we have total of 12 groups of students. We have Group A follows the same schedule here, so they'll rotate in this order. Group B, again, follows this schedule, C, and then D. And what this looks like for the actual rotations. So Group A, we have Group A1. This is where they will move from room 100 to the cafeteria to 103 to the gym to the tennis courts. Group A2 will go from Winkler to the cafeteria to Osborne to Horn to Laux. So, and finally Group A3 would go from 102 to the cafeteria, Langford, lecture hall, and then track. So I have that listed for all of our groups, and so if you go through, you can see what your day looks like much easier on that Excel spreadsheet. So if you're wondering if there's any overlap, again on that right here on the teacher schedule rotation groups, this is where you can find what your schedule actually looks like. This accounts for all the different groups at all the different times, and we don't have any weird conflicts, so we should be good there. Back to our PowerPoint, Tuesday. Alright, so social studies review games. This gets into the content areas, and what you'll want to do is probably just show your slide, explain what we're doing, and then get right into it, because it is kind of a, about an hour period, and I gave you way more than an hour's worth of material, probably. So, social studies review games, you're going to want to divide them up into teams. Designate a team captain. You're going to click on this link. It should look very similar to this. Once you get into the symbol, there are 7 different games you can play. You'll want a class recorder, and then, of course, to earn their sticker for this station, they have to actually participate. So just like on the Monday, we'll have a little reward card where they can get a sticker for each location that they go to. If they complete all of those at the end of the day, they'll turn that in with their name on it to receive a chance to win a Jeans Pass. So little incentive to actually play along and play nice today. Social studies review video. This video, here's the link to watch the video that shows the etiquette of how to watch a video. It's kind of a funny haha video, but it is kind of serious in that, you know, we don't want any kind of like noise and things like that. So explain your expectations for video watching. It will pause every now and then, and when it pauses, you're going to want to time it for about 3 minutes, and during that time, students will complete this little form here, and to earn the sticker for the station, they must complete at least 2 of these, so that's a total of 10 questions, and I feel like that's kind of generous. So on the next slide, this is the actual link to the video. If you've never used Edpuzzle before, it's kind of a little different than YouTube videos. You still click play to begin, but it will pause every time there's this little green question mark box. And then that's when you're going to time it for 3 minutes, give students time to reflect, complete the questions. During that time, walk around, talk to the students, see what they're drawing, read the questions aloud and discuss. And then once you're done with your 3 minutes, you're going to click continue to keep watching. It'll do the same thing again, and once you reach the end, of course, you'll just exit out, and then you'll click this to go back and watch it the next time with your next group. Mobile Noble is a guest. They are coming from the Fort Worth Museum to explain to us the Sun, Earth, and Moon connections. So we will talk about the expectations when they arrive to the cafeteria, and then the speaker will take over from there. Free Choice Recess is basically, oh, I forgot to delete that. We are going to be doing a create your own challenge on the tennis courts, and then on the track we will have kickball, soccer, maybe some mini football games, different things that Coach Key will have set up for us that day. Designer Animals is basically a student created creature that has to be perfectly adapted for its environment. They have to show 5 ways that it's adapted, and then they write a short essay kind of explaining these questions over here. I provided you some examples of this. This is one that I created last year. Here's some student created examples. Although the essays are not on here, I don't feel like the essay has to be terribly long. My example is way long because I tend to be a little long-winded there, but you know, I would think they could combine a lot of these questions together. So maybe a paragraph, 2 paragraphs at the very most should get most of their information in there. If they turn it in, we'll do a little competition, and we'll have that for the later weeks, kind of a fun thing. So that's all of our lesson information. That's all the rotation and schedule information. So if you do have any questions about that, let me know. But again, the lunches will be delivered. Where was it? Oops, wrong one. Okay, so lunches will be delivered between that 11:05 and 12 o'clock hour. So make sure when those lunches are delivered that you're monitoring that the students are eating their lunches and disposing of them properly. All right, guys, have a great day.